Good morning, guys. Welcome to Monday Moments with Fran. I hope you're doing well. So, we are in Self Care September, and today I'm delighted to have Maya Gale on with me, who's going to be talking a little bit about counselling. So, welcome, Maya.
Hi, how are you, Fran?
I'm good, thank you. It's so good to have you. Thank you for agreeing to come on and share today.
No problem.
Okay, so you are currently in your third year of university,
Yeah,
and what are you studying?
I'm studying counselling and psychotherapy.
Okay, brilliant. And that's actually going to be the topic for today's encouragement is really around counselling. So because you are almost a graduate in this subject, what is the definition of counselling?
Counselling is a talking therapy, and it's between a client and a therapist. That can be between one client and a therapist. It can be a client group. So, for example, family therapy, or it can be in many ways. It could be face to face. It can be over the phone, through email, anything like that. It's really somewhere where it's meant to be a safe haven for a client and somewhere where they can just feel so completely free and open to speak with a therapist about whatever issues or problems that they're going through.
Sure. I love that phrase, safe haven. It just immediately has that sense of, that safe place, which I think ordinarily we don't necessarily get in sometimes in our everyday world because life is busy or there's just not an opportunity to find that safe place to talk.
Mm,
Okay. And
definitely.
what, in your experience, are some of the benefits of counselling?
Counselling is somewhere where there's mental health everywhere. In the UK, it is full of mental health, and even people don't realise that they're suffering with it. There's many different types, and the most common type is anxiety and depression. And I think it's 8 in 100 people in England suffer with that. And I don't think enough people, not even I don't think, it's a fact that not enough people go and seek therapy. And
Sure.
especially when it comes to the male community, men seem to have a big pride and a big ego where they don't feel that they need therapy, or they don't feel like they need, if they're sick, they don't need to go to a doctor. And that will even cause them not only not to tell a professional, but not to tell their loved ones around them. And it's just that mental health is something so big that it even leads to things like suicide, self-harm, and it's such a big issue that's just not spoken about enough, and it's not given enough focus and attention because people are losing their lives so much around the world, and in this case in England, to mental health. And it just needs a lot more care and focus, because I feel like if many people actually do get therapy and put in the work, it will save so many lives, so many minds, and it can just be spread a lot quicker and easier by people that are survivors.
Sure, absolutely. And you mentioned quite a lot in there. So things I'm just going to really pick out. It's that as a talking therapy, it can really help for mental health challenges, but also it can help for, I would just say, life challenges in general. Because when
Mm-hmm.
you use that phrase earlier about a safe haven and a place to talk and be completely free, that could be what is missing in a lot of people's circles and in their environments. And obviously, when someone like yourself has had the training and they've got that knowledge to be able to help bring out of people the things they need to really talk about, that can really be of assistance to get them on that journey of healing and recovery.
Yeah, definitely. Because, for example, with a first session with a client, as a counsellor, you may just know small information. You won't actually know what kind of household they're coming from, what kind of people they're around. They may come from somewhere where they have no support mentally from their family, no kind of support from their friends, where everything for them, they're just told, you'll be okay, you'll be fine. They just want to be somewhere with somebody that will simply, probably not even talk much, but just sit down and listen to them, listen to their problems, not jump down their throat, not judge them. It's very important for therapists to come from a non-judgmental standpoint, but just be there to listen to them and want to genuinely help them and help them move forward and push through life.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big advocate for counselling. I go to counselling regularly. And sometimes I think we wait until things can be almost really bad or things get really challenging. But actually, we can also use it as a preventative measure because it is that place to talk and to process stuff. You know,
Yeah.
obviously you're a younger adult, but I'm sure you've experienced even by your age that things happen in life that no one would have anticipated, or we can all go through some really challenging situations, or we can go through trauma, And sometimes we need that place to be able to talk through that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, counselling is supposed to be that place, and that's why I've used safe haven. Because if there's not a therapist or somebody that they can speak to, then who, then where? That's why it's so important to make that place that they come to the perfect place for them.
Sure.
The client is the person that comes first. It's never the therapist. The client comes first. It's their needs that need to be met. It's them. It's said very commonly in counselling that you have to get worse before you get better. But in that claim of becoming worse, it's actually you realizing and bringing to the forefront all your issues. I feel that many clients will come into counselling just thinking about one particular issue, but the more that they speak with their therapist, they may not even realize until their therapist picks up on things that they're saying, and then it will come to their mind and they'll be like, oh my gosh, this is an issue that I never knew about, or I didn't realize that this is why I feel this way. It's the therapist is able to listen from they don't know you.
Yeah.
So they're just hearing it purely from what you're saying to them and the way that you're acting. And they can pick up on things that maybe for you, you've never realized. It's in your unconscious mind, but they're seeing it right in front of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to, I've experienced that as well. There was, we had a really unfortunate incident in my family where one of my uncles was unfortunately killed in a motorcycle accident. And I remember for ages, every time I saw a motorcycle, I would just be like so freaked out. And I started, feeling really anxious in my chest. And actually it was in counselling that we could actually talk and process that situation so I could be okay with it, and so yeah, there's a lot that sits in our unconscious minds that in that environment can really be pulled out to help.
Yeah, definitely.
So if there was someone who's watching and who's considering going into counselling because, they just feel like they need that safe haven, that place to talk, what would you say is an encouragement for them to make a decision?
I would say literally definitely do it. It doesn't matter how small, even if you feel like it's a minor situation. Many people that may feel like it's something minor for them, it will grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they'll even get to the point, and as big as the issue is, they will be like, okay, they don't need counselling. It doesn't matter how small it is. Get therapy from now, because you can save yourself from mental health, from going through any kind of awful things in the future. Go and get that help. It doesn't matter how small it is. You can have a therapist, find the right therapist, the right kinds of therapy for you, because counselling isn't just one thing. There's different kinds of therapy, like counselling such as CBT, there is person centers, and etc. Find the right therapist and the right place for you to be where you feel comfortable and talk. And you may even find out many things about yourself that you never knew before, and you'll find yourself in a better place before you know it. Definitely.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And definitely, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Being able to take care of you and take care of yourself well at times may mean going into counselling and going into therapy. And we have to choose just not to perhaps can think there's a stigma around it, or I've had some different reactions when I tell certain people, I go to counselling, but it is such a good way to invest in yourself. And from my perspective, as someone who coaches and who mentors a lot of different people, by investing in myself and making sure that I remain at a really good place, I'm better able to serve my clients and serve my community well, because I'm processing my own stuff, and so be encouraged. It is a really great thing to do. And as we said, it's Self-Care September. So if you need to make that decision to seek some help, go ahead and do that. But Maya, thank you so much for sharing.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. And guys, have a great week. Don't forget to encourage somebody else, and I'll see you soon. God bless you.